So it's the 1st of December, and after nearly a month without a drop of rain, this morning we've woken up and thank goodness we've got some rain. We really need it. So whenever you're in, I know we come to Spain for the sun, well, not just for the sun, for a lot of reasons, but I can tell you that the rain is gladly welcomed. We are in one of the biggest droughts in the last, well, this century at the moment. So brilliant news, we've got some rain. The temperatures are warmed up because of the rain, so that's, you know, it's quite warm today. It's already at 13-14 degrees. What generally happens when we have rain is the nighttime, here in Malaga anyway, the nighttime temperature is a lot warmer, so it'll stay around 10. But in the daytime it'll only go up to 19, say, or, you know, even lower. Whereas when we have the really sunny days in the winter, in the evening, evidently clear skies, it drops down to 3 or 4. The day before yesterday only went to 7, but in the daytime it can go up to the low 20s. So right, we're going to take the back road into work this morning. But the reason behind this video, because it just reminded me of another video I actually saw on a Spanish channel about driving in the rain, and a few hints and tips for people about driving in the rain in Spain. So what you've got to remember here is that people aren't used to driving in the rain, and a lot of the time the roads aren't conditioned for driving in the rain. A lot of the time cars aren't conditioned for driving in the rain. So I've actually had this happen to me. The very first thing to check when you get into the winter is your window wipers. Now this might sound the craziest thing in the world, all right, because, you know, it's like one of those things that you never realise isn't good until it actually first rains and you realise that your window wipers have fallen to bits with the sun. But they generally do. Now one of the biggest tips that we got from a garage was don't buy cheap window wipers. They don't last in Spain because of the heat. So yeah, that's it really. Tip number 1, make sure before, when you come into the autumn and the winter season, that you've checked your window wipers, because a lot of the time you don't find that your window wipers aren't very good until you get the first rain of the autumn. You put them on and they all fall to bits in front of you. You can't see where you're driving. Right, so window wipers, that's the first tip. The second tip is, and this is, again, it's going to sound blatantly obvious, all right, but it is true, is watch your braking distances, okay? Because here in Spain, the roads generally don't know. I don't know if anybody knows the answer to this, because again, I saw this on a video once, where in colder countries and countries like the United Kingdom, for example, they have special tarmac on the roads, which has greater gaps in, which allows the water to run off. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, if anybody knows that, let me know, because it was a great program that I watched about the tarmac science, how they're constantly developing this tarmac and road surfaces which allow water to run off through micro channels. Well, a lot of countries which experience a lot of rain have this down, but evidently it's more expensive. Now in Spain, generally, water, you can see now how water just sits on the road. You can see there, you know, driving through the towns. You can see here on the corner, look, it just, you literally could aquaplane across that. Here, look, just, you know, there's no, obviously there's been no sort of runoff. There's no drains on the side of the road as well, so generally you'll find a lot of areas don't have drains, so the water just runs down to the lowest point. You'll see here as we go down the back way, there's a drain there and the water's accumulated around it. So yeah, you've really got to watch your braking distances, because you can put your foot down and you'll find you won't stop, and a bit of an aquaplane. Here the tarmac isn't, in a lot of areas it just isn't accustomed or isn't built for rainy weather like it could be in other countries. The other thing tip number 3 is just be aware of other drivers. Now, there's absolutely nothing you can do about the way other people drive, but you definitely need to be aware. Now, currently, as I'm saying this, I have somebody driving behind me. I'm not going to pull the camera out because that's irresponsible, and it's also a very large fine here in Spain to have a camera in your hand when driving, sorry, a phone in your hand when driving. But you can see, because generally we're not used to driving in the rain here, okay, I find that the drivers here do not respect the braking distances. They're not, you know, when you're driving in the wet, you need to drive slightly slower. You need to drive, you know, respect the braking distances more, because if you have to slam on, evidently, you're not going to stop as quickly as in dry conditions. And because of basically, I think the lack of rainy weather, people don't get accustomed to that, and they still drive like it's dry weather. I currently, at the moment, have somebody driving right politely up my boot here behind me, and not respecting the braking distance at all. And if I was to slam on, they would basically be in the back of me. So so yeah, you've just got to, if it means you're going an extra bit slow. Sometimes what I do as well, especially when I've got the kids in the car, it's raining and you see people are still hectic to get to work, and just pull over, let them pass, you know. More still water. There we go. So yeah, that's the 3 main tips really. What was the other one that we had? Oh yes, and my piece of paper here was the tyres. Again, the tyres exactly the same as the window wipers. What you find here, albeit that Spain's a vast country, so you generally tend to do an awful lot of kilometres, you know, going anywhere in Spain. You find, even when you're buying second-hand cars here, that they've always got hundreds of thousands of kilometres on them. You go like looking at if you were to look at a 10-year-old Ford Focus here, you know, finding one with less than 250,000 kilometres on it would be a challenge. And most of the time, that's not a problem, because if it's if it's a diesel engine and most of the kilometres have been done on a motorway, it's not a problem at all. But anyway, this video is not about second-hand cars. We've got another video coming up about buying a second-hand car. But you have to be careful of the tyres, and what I mean by that is it's the summer effect. Sometimes you'll find that the sun actually perishes the tyres before the tread wears down, and it's something you don't notice. I had that happen to me on our old car. So we had a Mazda 3 and saloon car thing, and one of the sets of tyres that I put on, which I have to honestly admit we got from a cheap website, so there you go, it's a lesson to us all. They perished rather than wore down, so they were, you know, the sides of the walls start to crack and stuff like that. They harden. This came from the tyre guy. I said, why has it done that? He said, well, they harden in the sun. They harden and start to crack. So evidently, if you've got cheaper tyres which are hardened in the sun, again, we're not tyres scientists, I'm just telling you what they told me, then that can seriously affect you driving in the rain. So there we go then, that's it, a bit of rain. I thought I'd show you, it's not always sunny here in Spain. There we go, the sun's trying its best to get out through that cloud behind the mountain and the palm trees that you can see there. We've arrived now at the office. So these new houses here on the left hand side, when I looked at one of the show houses, just to tell you, the housing market is here, this close to the airport. Now they are semi-detached houses, and they have a plunge pool, so the plunge pool is no bigger than a dining table. Very nice inside, I have to say, but they want 485,000 for them. It's nearly golden visa territory for a semi-detached. So yeah, I'm not too sure who they're selling them to. I want to know. It's crazy. I mean, for me in Alarin de la Torre, and I know we're very close to the airport, this is now a very sought after area where it wasn't before, but I don't know, still can't see it myself. 480,000 for those properties. But there we go. Right, so we're at the office. I thought I'd do a quick video about driving in the rain. Thanks for watching. If you like the channel, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. We're trying to get a few more informative videos about living in Spain next year. We've got some real exciting stuff planned for the channel next year. We're also experimenting with some shorts as well, which someone said gets your channel. A friend of mine who's into YouTube said, oh, you need to do some shorts because that gets your channel noticed. So hopefully we'll do a few more of those. We published the first one yesterday. Again, we can only apologise for the quality of the videos and the production. It's all done in-house by us. We're learning as we go along. You know, it's start now, get perfect later with the channel. I don't think it'll ever be perfect, but the most important thing is getting these informative videos out there for you guys who are moving to Spain. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon with another video.